I do want to get an update here, though, from Ramona Shelburne about how the rest of the league is reacting to this. Ramona, what are you hearing?
Look, everyone I've talked to had the same opinion Richard and JJ did, which is essentially unfortunate, right? Unfortunate, but not a dirty play. And I think the question here is really, you get to be upset when your star player gets hurt. You just do, and it's understandable. But the question is, do you take it forward? And somebody brought up the Joel Embiid, Pascal Siakam play. Joel Embiid addressed that for the first time on Friday night when he came back, and he said, I don't blame Pascal. He's one of my best friends. We know each other really well. It was an elbow that broke his orbital bone. It was a difficult situation, but he didn't mean to do it, and I think that's where we're going to end up with this play. But you get to be upset.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Especially
he's hurt.
When your star player is hurt, you get to be upset. All right, let's get to tonight's game. Here are the Warriors that shoot around earlier today on how they're preparing for this important Game 4.
Memphis went 20-5 without him. They're a hell of a team for a reason. They're really deep. So while it may change a scheme or two, in terms of how we're guarding, it doesn't change our respect for what they're capable of. So we will be prepared either way.
All right, so for anyone who forgot, if the Grizzlies do, in fact, have to go a game without Ja in this Game 4, they have a whole lot of experience in that department. Memphis, they went 20-5 in games without Morant during the regular season. That's tied for the best win percentage by any team in NBA history when missing a 25-point scorer. So back with JJ and Richard, we just showed the numbers. The Grizzlies, they didn't miss a beat without Ja in the regular season. So, Richard, what makes them so good specifically without their star?
Well, I think their style of play, this is where coaching really comes in, making sure that all of these guys on their team feel enabled to go out and play the style of game that you can maintain with Ja. And that's where Tyus Jones comes in. Tyus Jones, to me, is so important to their team because he goes from a backup to a starter, maybe the best, backup point guard in the league, to a starter, and the pace stays the same. He knows how to get all the guys the same shots and the same plays. Now, he's not Ja Morant, but he knows how to make sure that the style of play and the pace stays the same, and that's what makes him so special.
That plug and play, JJ.
Well, I'll add two things to that. The Grizzlies were better defensively in the regular season when Ja was hurt. And secondly, Desmond Bane's production went way up in those games that Ja Morant missed. And to me, that's the guy that the Grizzlies have to get going. He was fantastic in round 1 against the Timberwolves, but has been very limited so far in this series. He's averaging 10 a game. He hasn't had any momentum getting shots. And Steph Curry has been the primary defender on him and has done a really good job. Richard knows this from playing in the playoffs so many times. When you're a shooter, the awareness around where you are on the court goes up exponentially. And the Warriors have found him every time down the floor. Jordan Poole has also guarded him. The two of those guys have done a fantastic job on Desmond Bane. So they got to figure out whether that's through dribble handoffs, whether that's through step-up pull-ups, or getting him moving more. They got to figure out a way to get Desmond Bane going.
So Desmond Bane is the guy that you're watching without Ja Morant tentatively. Again, for now, he is listed as doubtful. But Richard, on the other side of the ball, who are you watching that needs to continue or step up for the Warriors?
Well, I alluded to it earlier when I was talking about Tyus Jones. What Tyus Jones does for their team is he has the same kind of energy. And so when you know you have a point guard that can knock down shots, that plays and competes on the defensive end, and like we said, he's not Ja. You can't replace Ja. But that record is no lie. You see that record when Ja is out. It's because when you put in players and he's able to say, hey, I know you like the ball here. I know we had to get this pin down for you. Hey, Jaren Jackson Jr., we're going to run this play, get you a shot. There is a kind of a captain style play that he plays, and it's just like a seamless transition. When Ja's in the lineup, out the lineup, he doesn't care if he's starting, not starting. He just knows how to play the way the Grizzlies need him to be successful.
That was such an eloquent, beautiful answer to who the Grizzlies need when I was curious about the Warriors.
He doesn't listen to the question, Malika. He doesn't listen to the question.
It was so beautiful.
I thought
it
the
was
same
eloquent.
thing.
It was lovely.
Really?
Just cut his
Very
mic,
clearly
JJ, go
asked
ahead.
who needs to step up for the
Go
Warriors.
ahead,
I was
JJ.
reading that. I didn't
Go ahead,
hear it.
JJ.
You're right.
Yeah.
You guys are right. It's Monday.
See what I have to deal with?
Monday. I apologize.
Drink some more coffee and
God.
let JJ talk.
Yeah.
No, I've been as fascinated with it as any NBA fan throughout this stretch of games, going back several months now, and especially in this playoffs, with the play of Jordan Poole. To me, his play as well as Jonathan Kuminga's development, like this ultimately is what is extending this Warriors group championship window. And when he plays at an elite level and you mix in the genius of Draymond Green, the play of Steph, the play of Klay Thompson, they are as good as anyone in basketball. And so for me, it's like if they want to win a championship, this is the version of Jordan Poole that we're going to have to see throughout the playoffs.
Well, since I get a second crack at this question, let's try this again. I'm going to say I want to say Kuminga, because we know this for a fact, is that there is no way that the Golden State Warriors are going to be able to win a championship without Gary Payton II unless you find another defender, unless you find another athletic wing defender, because you can roll out all the offense you want, all the shooting, but they also have to guard people on the other end. And so if Kuminga can step in there, and doesn't mean he's got to play 35 minutes, 32 minutes. If he can give you 18 minutes of intelligent, strong defense, athletic defense, and that gives, Steph a little bit more energy, that gives Wiggins a little bit more energy to score. So that's what Gary Payton did. He was in there to defend and slow down people. If Kuminga can take that energy, then I think it's going to be a positive add for them in the starting lineup.
I'm sorry, what did you just say? I wasn't listening.
Wow.
Just kidding.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.